I'm the Nature Hacker, and this is your world. So today I want to talk about, so you want to be an engineer, huh? So you want to be an engineer. So I'm going to go through, some of the reasons that you do want to be an engineer, maybe some reasons why you don't, and how to get through the 4 years of torture that you are going to be facing. So, first of all, I just want to say this is a professional degree. So it's on par with a law degree or a medical degree. It's obviously not as expensive as those. It's not going to pay as much necessarily. But it is that type of degree. It's a degree that it's a professional degree. I mean, you have now a qualification for certain work, right? So it is a professional degree, and that should be a reason to do it. That should be a reason to do it. I mean, it's the same price as any other degree. Why not get a professional degree? A degree that, let's say you want to go into industry, a degree that you can pretty much be guaranteed to make 55,000 right out of college. So there's I mean, the question would be, why not? It's the same price. Why not get a really powerful degree? Instead of like a liberal arts degree or something. So why not? If you can hack it, why not? So it's a more valuable degree than anything else you can get in college. So why not do it? Right. So that brings me to my next point. Know why you're doing it. A lot of people go into engineering. Some of my friends, myself included, you go in with one idea and then you leave with another idea. You go in, like I went in, like, I need, a degree that can make me money. My last degree was nutrition, and I got a lab as a molecular biologist, or I got a job as a molecular biologist, but there wasn't really a progression forward. I mean, to progress in molecular biology in the lab, I had to go for a PhD, which is another 5 years of basically slavery, indentured servitude. So there wasn't really a good path forward, and even then, you're not guaranteed a job. In science, it's like, even with a PhD, you can definitely struggle to find a job. There just isn't that many jobs out there for PhD scientists. So it's very, there wasn't a good path forward, and at that point, my top priority was having a family and making enough money to support a family so that my wife wouldn't have to work, etc., etc. But my ideas changed, and basically at that point, I thought that let's say I'm working for Raytheon or something. I'm building missiles, but those missiles are being used against terrorists, bad guys, whatever. So it's not really a big deal. But at the end, I started waking up to the truth about the world and realizing that these missiles are actually killing lots of innocent people, and that I don't want to be involved in that. And so at that point, so know why you're doing it. I mean, do you want one of these engineering jobs at a normal engineering company? I mean, just know that they're probably not doing things to benefit humanity. They're doing things to benefit big business, the military-industrial complex, and a lot of other things. Even, let's say, my dad worked for Honeywell, and he built things that I think now are not that good. Like he worked on the 777, Boeing 777, and that, it's basically, from what we've gathered, from what I've gathered from what he says, he doesn't necessarily believe this, but it's a hybrid satellite cockpit controlled plane, so it can literally be hacked via satellite. Whatever we think satellites are, they might not be high in the sky, it could be ground based, whatever, but they can basically be flown by satellite, hacked, and the people on board are not safe. So it's just, there's a lot of things that, he worked on the actual dishes to track the satellites or whatever, whatever's communicating with them. So, you're working for big business, big corporations, and they don't care about the little guy. They care about profits. They care about maintaining power And when you're an engineer, you have power, and your power is going to be used for their interests. So know why you're doing it. You don't want to go through all of that, then find that out, and then be stuck, right? Like I kind of was stuck, right? And so what I ended up doing is having to start my own business. So basically know that, okay, you're gonna have to make that decision. Are you confident enough to be able to start your own business if you need to? Do you have the resources? Do you have the support networks to be able to start a business? So be thinking about that. It's important. So, yeah, the most important thing, hopefully if you're watching this, you're actually watching this for the engineering and you're not just one of my subscribers, having a good time, which I hope, obviously I hope you're that too, but if you are watching this for the specific advice that you are going to become an engineer, hopefully you're in high school and you have the opportunity to take AP Physics, okay? AP or IB, whatever. That will help you more than anything else. And I recommend you take as much physics as you possibly can in high school. If you're going to do any type of engineering, take physics, take physics, take physics. I mean, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, even chemical engineering, you'll probably need to know physics pretty well. So definitely math. So, take as much advanced math in high school as you can, what is it? Calculus, BC. Definitely take that. I mean, take it as many, like, let's say you can take AB one year and then BC another year. Take as much math as you possibly can in high school. Take the AP test, study for the test, everything. In physics, take as much physics as you can. As you're a sophomore, try to take physics as a sophomore. Try to take AP physics as a junior. Try to take AP Physics 2 if they offer it as a senior. Try to find a high school that offers AP Physics 2 or whatever. Take AP Physics twice. Whatever you have to do, do it. These classes are quintessential to engineering. So, yeah, basically those classes are a blueprint to engineering, especially if you're going to do mechanical engineering or electrical engineering. So you need to take as much as you can in high school. So yeah, and that kind of ties into if you are taking advanced math in high school, if you're kind of on the advanced math track, look, you should become an engineer. Okay, even if you don't believe in what engineers typically do, building bombs, building war machines, or even cars or planes or whatever, even if you don't believe in that, definitely seriously consider going into engineering, just because what else are you going to do in college? What other degrees are you going to get? Engineering degree is the most valuable degree anyway. You might as well get it if you're decent in math. You don't even have to love math, but if you're decent in math, okay? And, figure out something to do after college. This is a new era where, there isn't jobs out there for everybody, so you have to have other plans, other contingency plans of what could I do, etc. So, all right, so you decide to become an engineer and you're going to go to college, right? Get serious. Get serious. An engineering degree isn't a business degree or a psychology degree. You're not going to be able to party in the party dorms with everybody else, all right? If you want to take 1 year and just kind of be undecided, or, just kind of get started on your math or engineering class or whatever, or your, what do you call it? Your, those required classes, like, I don't know, in my school they called them like trads or indivs or things like that. Just the basic required classes. Get those out of the way. If you want to party a little bit, have some fun your first year with some easy classes, go for it. But once you start getting in your engineering classes, that stuff is done. I mean, and this is only a part of your life. It's 3, 4, 5 years of your life, but you really have to get serious if you want to do decently, okay? So once you're committed, once you're in these engineering classes, you have to get serious. I mean, each class you should get a 5-subject notebook, like a thick notebook, with the papers inside of it, whatever. It's a notebook, you write in it, take notes. You're going to want a 5-subject notebook for each class, okay? And you're going to want to, I would recommend only taking 3, a maximum of 4 classes a semester. So 3, maximum of 4. Take summer school if you need to, or, don't be afraid to go 5 years. 1 extra year is not that big of a deal. So, and hopefully you would have scholarships anyway from high school. If you're in the advanced, math classes and stuff, and you're thinking of going to engineering, you should have a scholarship to your college anyway. And pick a college that you have a scholarship to. This isn't a game of how prestigious of a college I can get into. No, this is just get your degree, because a degree pretty much anywhere will, guarantee you a pretty much similar job. So, so 5-subject note, but you're going to get serious. You're going to take hardcore notes, like 10 pages of notes every class. So get serious, all right? And, only write on the fronts of pages. My physics teacher taught me this. He's like, you know what? Physicists kill trees. It's just a sad fact. And you have to go through a lot of paper. So only write on the fronts of the pages. It's going to help you a lot. And, you're going to use a lot of paper, but that's just the way it is. Alright, so get help early. Go to office hours, okay? Always go to office hours. And, you're going to have to try to work on some problems before office hours so you know what questions to ask. Even if you don't, just go there anyway and then just find questions there. Usually office hours, you can sit at the table with the teacher. There's another chair back there. And usually there's multiple people there, so you can even just go and listen to what they're doing. But go to office hours. Always go, okay? Always go. And let me also lead that into something else. Clear the table. If you have duties at church, if you had clubs, don't get involved in clubs, really. Clubs are not going to help you in an engineering degree. In a medical degree, if you're going to go to get to become a doctor, you're going to have to participate in all this BS. But for engineering, no. Don't get into clubs. Maybe if you want to go once in a while to something that's interesting to you, fine. But don't get involved. Don't take leadership positions. If you're working for your church or any other groups or anything, I don't know. Clear the table. School is your only thing. This is a limited part of your life. This is 3, 4, 5 years. You really have to just block it out, and this is the time I'm getting my degree, and that's it. I'm not involved in anything else, all right? Which is hard for someone with ADD like me, and I had a lot of trouble trying to achieve that, but do it, okay? So that way, then you have time to go to office hours, then you have time to go to study groups, etc., etc. You're going to need that, okay? And in engineering, you have to do internships. Usually it's like junior year, but get on internships, start researching it, start talking to your academic advisor about internships, how to research them. You got to be researching them, because the people who do internships get jobs, okay? The people who do not do internships do not get jobs. If you want a job out of college, you have to do an internship, and you better be willing to work for that company afterwards if you want a job, okay? Because that's really the only way you get jobs, I did look for jobs after college. My brother looks for jobs. My brother's also a mechanical engineer. He looked for jobs. It took him like 3 years or something after his degree. He's 27 now, and he just got his first engineering job, and he graduated 22